Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about the next lecture of Extension 101, that is Indian Rural Society. In this topic, we are going to discuss about the important characteristics of society and difference between urban society and rural society. Now, always remember, definitely there will be question on this Indian rural society. Either you will be asked to explain the characteristics of society, or you will asked to give the difference between rural society and urban society. So first of all, we will see the explanation of the characteristics of rural society. Before that, we will see the definition of society. So society is defined as group of people who live together, share common values and general interests, and long enough to be considered by other and themselves as in a unit. Now try to understand. Here society, what we can say, that a particular village, particular city, particular area where the people are going to be live, that we can refer as a society. So what definition says? It is a group of people. You have to bifurcate. It is a group of people who live together. That is, who live together, and while living, what they are going to do? They are going to share common values and general interest. Always we are going to share our values, interests with our neighbors, with our friends, with our relatives. So values and interests. That means we are going to share our sorrows, joys, everything with our relatives, friends, neighbors. And long enough to be considered by other and themselves as an unit. That means unitedly we are going to live with the neighbors and friends. We are trying to establish unity among ourselves. So that particular group is referred as a society. Okay. Now, what is the rural society then? We have to discuss the characteristics of rural society. So it is the society which exists in rural area, which exists, that means which present in a rural area. Rural area means which present in a villages, and where majority of people have agriculture as their main occupation. That is the most important. Specification is added. The people living in rural area is the rural society, but majority of people have agriculture as their main occupation. So that society we can refer as a rural society. Now major point of this topic, that is the characteristics of rural society. So in exam you will be asked define rural society and explain the characteristics of rural society. So before one by one we will go discuss about the characteristics. We will see how the characteristics we have to study. Rural people are different from those who are living in urban area. That is, rural people are different from the urban people. These difference are mainly due to the environment. Urban people means शहरी भागात राहणारे, the people who are living in cities, Pune, Mumbai, etc. So rural people, that means people living in a village. So village people are different from the people who are living in a cities or urban areas. These differences are mainly due to the environment in which they are living. You know, the environment in urban area is different one, environment in rural area is different one, and that environment influences the difference in their living. Also, the consequent impact on the personalities and lives of the people. The impact of the environment on the personalities and lives of the people. So that makes the difference among the rural society. Here we are mainly interested in the characteristics of the rural society, and how we are going to study the characteristics. These characteristics are studied in relation to the urban people, in relation to the urban people or urban society. Okay. So first of all, the first characteristic is the general environment and orientation to nature. Now what it says, that means rural people are closely associated with the nature as they live in the environment. Closely associated with the nature, that means basically they are going to live in the environment. So here we can say that they are closely associated with the nature. Okay. They have to face the vagaries of nature, like rains, heat, drought, heavy rainfall, drought situation, heavy heat. These are the vagaries of nature. Vagaries means what we can say, that the differences in an environment, Laripana. So they have to face these vagaries of the nature. And these vagaries of nature have direct impact on their life, because heavy rains, heavy drought, heavy heat is going to influence their crops, and which have direct influence on their lives. Due to these things, due to these vagaries and etc., the rural people have built up beliefs and convictions toward the nature. Belief and convictions, that means they are going to believe on a nature, they are going to depend on a nature, they have developed certain convictions, that means they have developed certain considerations regarding the nature. This thing is not going to be happen in case of urban people, because they don't have any impact of the vagaries of nature on their lives. So that is so here it is said that rural people are closely associated with the nature or environment. In exam, this will be asked, the rural people have developed belief and conviction toward the nature. Dash dash people have developed belief and conviction toward the nature. So that is the first characteristics. Now second one, occupation. Now most of the people depend on agriculture for their livelihood in a rural area. The non-agriculture jobs are very few and less important in rural area. That is, majority of people are doing agriculture as their main occupations in a rural area. If you see the urban people, most of the jobs are non-agriculture and are more specialized one. Non-agriculture, that means they are not going to do the agriculture sector, or they are not going to do the farming, urban people. And most of them, whatever the jobs they are going to be performed, that are more specialized one. In a factory, if you see, specialized, that means in a factory you see the jobs of foreman, manager, executives are different. The job of manager is different, job of executive engineer is different, job of marketing person is different. So lots of differences are there in the jobs, and these differences are depend upon the specialization of the individual. In urban area, specialization, as per their specialization, the jobs are going to be offered. Okay. Now, a farmer on other hand must to be competent in variety of skill. In urban area, you see, only one skill is sufficient to join that particular job. But in a urban area, in case of farmer, he has to acquire wide variety of skill. Lots of skill he need to be acquired to run his occupation. For example, soil improvement, repair of machine, skills in controlling pest disease, skills in animal husbandry practices, skills in agriculture economics, business management, marketing, distribution. All tasks he need to perform by himself only. All tasks he need to perform by himself. That means he need to adopt wide variety of skills to perform that particular task. Okay. The farmer thus has to acquire wide range of specialization as compared to urban worker. Urban people need to adopt specialization, but that are only one skill, related to only one skill. But here they have to adopt wide range of specialization. Okay. Now the third characteristics, that is the size of community. The rural communities are smaller as compared to the urban community. That means size of population is very low. The density of populations per square mile is also low in a rural society as compared to urban. So these statements are going to be asked in the fill in the blanks. Okay. Now the land to man ratio is higher in rural area. That means land is more in rural area as compared to the man means population. Now regarding these statements, 4 statements are going to be asked in objectives. 1, land to man ratio is higher in rural area. Second one, land to man ratio is low in urban area. Man to land ratio is lower in rural area, and man to land ratio is higher in urban area. Now here we can see all the 4 statements are going to be asked in a exam, in a fill in the blanks, and it will make a confusion among yourselves. So how to remember these statements? In explanation, you need not write all these 4 statements. In explanation of this size of community, you can see only these 3 statements are sufficient one. Land to man ratio is higher in rural area. But why I am given these 4 statements? That is, these are important from objective point of view. But how to remember this one? Here you can see the land to man ratio is here. Land to man ratio, man to land ratio and man to land ratio. That means first word is most important in a ratio. Okay. And what is asked? Whether it is higher, lower, lower, higher. Okay. Now always remember, you know that land is more in a rural area. But land is low in a urban area. That is most important. Man means population. Population is high in a urban area, but population is low in a rural area. So that is the logic. Population is high in urban area, land is low in urban area. Population is low in rural area, population is high in a urban area, and land is low in a rural area. So land to man ratio is high in a rural area. Land to man ratio is lower in a urban area. Man to land ratio is lower in a rural area, and man to land ratio is higher in a urban area. So what is the first word is ask. That is most important. Whether land, and what is ask? Land is higher, that means rural area. Land is low, that means urban area. Man is low, that means rural area. Man means population. Population is high in a urban area. Like this way, you need to remember these statements. Now, homogeneity and heterogeneity. Now, here you can see homogeneity is the similarity of social and psychological characteristics of population, such as language, belief, modes, and patterns of behavior. Okay, so that is basically the definition of homogeneity. What homogeneity is says in exam you will be asked to define homogeneity and heterogeneity. Okay, so what homogeneity says? Homogeneity is the similarity. Homo means similarity. What is the similar are there? Similars are the social and psychological characteristics of population. Social and psychological characteristics of population. Population means society. So which are the characteristics? That is language, belief, modes, and patterns of behavior. For example, we can see the language of the society. Language, that means if you see in urban area, the languages are different one because people are from different states. Are you getting? But in rural area, language is same. Only mother tongue is going to follow. So homogeneity is there. Okay. So homogeneity is the similarity of these characteristics of population. Now, what is the heterogeneity? Same definition we have to write. Only instead of similarity, we have to write down dissimilarity. So it is the dissimilarity of social and psychological characteristics of population. In this sense, rural population is more homogeneous. Why it is more homogeneous? For example, in language, the language of all the rural community is similar one. So here you can see that we can say that the rural population is more homogeneous. Now, in case of urban people, urban population is more heterogeneous because difference in these characteristics, language, belief, modes, etc., etc. Now, the next one is the social differentiation. Social differentiation, that means the classification of the society, or what we can say that the difference which is present among the society. Now, if you see in a society, lots of services are present. For example, especially in case of urban society, lots of services are present. That is educational service, recreational, religious, business, residential. So, number of services are present, and these services are intentionally organized to serve the specific purpose, to solve the specific purpose of the people or of the community. For example, education, to provide the educational facilities to the children. For example, religious, to provide the religious facilities to the community. Business oriented, residential. So these are the different kind of services are present in the urban society. These services made the division of labor. Educational, for example, so teacher association is there. Recreational, so recreational clubs are there. Religious associations are there, religious groups are there. Similarly, in case of businessmen, lawyers association is there, doctor association is there. So these services made the division of people in urban society. So here we can say that social differentiation is more in a urban society or urban people, while in rural area is more homogeneous and low degree of social differentiation is there in rural society, because these kind of services are not much more present in a rural society. Majority of people in rural societies are going to follow the same occupation. So here it is say that rural society is more homogeneous. So low degree of social differentiation is there in a rural society. Now the next one is the social stratification. Now social stratification that means a different layer in a society, different classes in society. Now here you can see that higher class society is there, middle class society is there, and lower class society is there. That means every society is divided into three classes. Basic three classes are there. These classes are made on the basis of economical level of the society. Okay. Now every society is divided into high class, middle class, and lower class society. The gap between high class society and low class society is high in urban area, while the gap between high class society and low class society is low in a rural area. Why? Because majority of people living in urban area are from higher class and lower class. Middle class people are very low in a rural area. So the gap is much high in a urban area between high class and lower class. If you see the rural area, majority of people are from middle class. Majority of people are from middle class. So the gap between high class and low class is low in a rural area. Now, basically why high class people are more in a urban area? Because very rich or very poor people move to the cities. Why? Rich move to the city for desire to obtain more than the rural area, and poor move to the city, urban areas in search of jobs or opportunities. So the gap between high class and low class is more in a urban area. Now the next one is the social mobility. Mobility refers to movement from one social group to another social group. One social group to another social group, that means it may be occupational mobility from rural area to urban area, or from urban area to rural area, within rural area or within urban area. That is movement of the individual or movement of the family from one area to another area, that we can refer as the social mobility. Social mobility is more from rural area to urban area. Why? In search of jobs or in search of employment. There is horizontal and vertical moves also. Horizontal moves, that means movement from one place to another place in same village, in same cities. Vertical, that means you can say that movement from rural area to the urban area, or urban area to the rural area. So that we can refer as a vertical movement. Then social interaction. The pattern and type of social interaction is different in urban areas and rural areas. Interaction, that means way of communication. It is different in urban people and rural people. Okay. So rural population is smaller and less dense, that we have already discussed. Less density is there, low population is there in rural area as compared to the urban society. The rural people have fewer personal contact per individuals. Less number of contacts per individuals are there among the rural people. The contact through mass media like radio, television, magazine, newspaper is low in rural area. That means we get the information through our personal contacts in rural area, in villages. We didn't get the data or news from radio, television, magazines, whatever things are happening in the nearby places or in our village. Okay. So the contact in rural area is more face-to-face, informal and personal. Remember this statement. More face-to-face, that means personally we identify each other. Informal, that means no rules, regulations are going to follow in the relation, and personal contacts are there in a villages or in rural area. While in urban areas, most of the contacts are cursory, formal and impersonal. Cursory, that is for particular purpose, we are going to make a relation with each other. After solving that purpose, we are going to leave that relation. Formal, that means we are going to follow the rules, regulations in that relation. And impersonal, that means without any personal, no any personal touch is there in the relations. So that is the contact present in a urban society. Okay. Then social control. Informal social pressure act as a means of social control in a rural society. Now informal social pressure means what? That means due to small size and homogeneity of rural community, there is more informal atmosphere present in the society. Face-to-face contacts are there, personal contacts are there, small population is there, homogeneity is there. Because of that, informal atmosphere is going to be developed in a society. And this informal atmosphere used to control the society or informal behavior in a society. Social control, that is nothing but to control the behavior of the society. And how it can be possible with the help of informal atmosphere. For example, if violence is there in a village, that violence is going to be controlled by the elder persons or experienced persons, or what we can say that the higher authority which are present in the villages. So that we can refer as an informal social pressure. But in urban areas, the control on a society is much more through the formal means of pressure, that is law. Law prescribes rules and regulations. That means rules, regulations are going to use, law is going to be used to make the social control in an urban area. There is no any personal touch among the people while controlling the society. Then leadership pattern. Leadership pattern is more there are more face-to-face contact in urban area, in rural areas. There is more personal contact in rural areas. So whatever the leadership pattern is there in rural area, it is based on personal traits. Personal traits means characteristics. Personally, we are going to identify that leader of the village. Also, that leader is going to identify ourselves. So that is the personal touch in a rural areas, and whatever the leadership pattern is there, it is based on the personal traits in a rural area. It is going to be asked in a fill in the blanks. Leadership pattern is based on dash dash. Leadership pattern is based on personal traits in dash dash, rural area or urban area. So the leadership in urban area is more impersonal, because we didn't identify that leader personally. We don't have face-to-face contact with that leader in an urban area. So leadership pattern is based on impersonal traits in urban area and on personal traits in a rural areas here. Okay. Then the next one, last characteristic, that is the social solidarity. Social solidarity, that means the unity which is present among the society. In both the society, solidarity is present, unity is present, but it is depend upon the difference. Which difference is there? There is more informal, non-contractual personal relation in rural area. That means more personal contacts are there, informal relation is there, small society is there in a rural area. So the cohesion or unity or the solidarity which is present in rural area is due to common traits, common characteristics. The similarity of experience, common objectives which are shared among the people. So commonness, common experience, common objectives, because of that the unity is present in a rural area. Basically, if you see the example of occupation, most of the people are doing agriculture as their occupation. So they have a similar experience and common objectives regarding the occupation. Okay. Now in urban area, the unity and experiences are based on the difference and dissimilarities. The division of labor, the independence and socialization. So the difference, dissimilarities are going to make the division of labor, and because of that the unity is present among the people. For example, if you take the example of lawyers or doctors, they are going to be associate among themselves, they are going to develop relation among themselves, unity among themselves, but it is based on the dissimilarity, it is based on the division of labor. So accordingly the unity is there, but it is based on the dissimilarities or dissimilarity or experience among the society. So that is about the social solidarity. So these are the different characteristics of rural society. You need to go through that characteristic. In exam there will be the question, explain the different characteristics of rural society, and accordingly you need to prepare for the characteristics of rural society. While explaining, first of all you have to list out all the 11 characteristics, and then one by one you need to explain these characteristics of rural society. Okay, so prepare accordingly for it. Now in next lecture we will see the difference between rural society and urban society. Okay, thank you.